I've been trying to make this video for a minute now, and it's really difficult really to make it because I feel like a lot of you guys might disagree with me, but we are going to look at some facts. And the question now is it worth it for Barcelona to have Frenkie De Jong in the free role that he has at the moment, right? But as always, guys, before we do get into the tactics and all of that, please do subscribe to the channel as that's going to help us a lot to get this family to grow even bigger. We upload weekly content regarding FC Barcelona's tactics only. All right, so if that's you, please do subscribe. Let's get right into the video. If I would ask anybody to define Frenkie de Jong's role at Barca at the moment, I think most of you guys will struggle to really pinpoint what he's doing for the club at the moment. But back then, when he had Messi, Griezmann, Dembele, and all of these guys, it was a lot easier for him because somebody like him was needed, because he also had all of these other guys that could do all of these things what was required in terms of how can I say now, creative aspect, right? Because you had Messi playing as a false nine, basically. You had Griezmann moving up. We all know that Dembele was on the right side, and then Alba was holding that flank down on that side. So, and the other thing is Busquets was really a great like complementary player for Frenkie de Jong, because he was the one that could find the likes of Messi and Pedri and do the switching. So that could allow Frenkie de Jong to do the dropping and dribbling with the ball, because you had all of these other creative players that was really able to find the space, and you had somebody in Dembele that could create literally something out of nothing, right? But now at Barcelona at the moment, we do not have that. So is Frenkie de Jong's positioning really necessary? Because I mean, you, like I said, you had Busquets that could find the likes of Alba, and we know we had a lot of partnerships. We had Pedri with Messi, we had Messi with Alba, you had Dembele that was holding down everything, and then you had Antoine Griezmann, which was just really pushing the back line back. And Griezmann, of course, had his moments at Barcelona. But at the moment, do we have all of that? No, because you also had somebody like Piqué who could switch the play. That is why it was easier for Barcelona to tolerate Frankie's positioning, because we had all of these other guys that was doing these other things pretty well. So his positioning was complemented by what the other guys was doing. And we're going to get into that more as over the course of the video. I just wanted to throw that in there to show you guys why Frankie's positioning was working back then and why it might not be working right now. Now, Frenkie de Jong is a marvelous player, don't get me wrong, but the question I'm trying to get at here is, does what Frenkie offers fit in the Barcelona way? Because I'm noticing or seeing that Xavi is really struggling to figure that out. Because if you look at the Barcelona of the old days, where it was the Barcelona way, the tiki taka, Iniesta is really the closest player to Frenkie de Jong. Iniesta liked to dribble a little bit, but I think he was more press resistant than being a dribbler, because to have the Barcelona way inside of you, you need to be able to release the ball quickly. And back in the day, let's be honest, you didn't have that with Iniesta where he was dropping back. It was actually Xavi who was like moving back. And Xavi wasn't that great dribbler. He was press resistant, but he released the ball quickly. And that is what I'm trying to get at, which is the biggest problem with Frenkie de Jong in the Barcelona way. He holds on to the ball too much, in my opinion. That's why the build-up for Barcelona tends to be a lot slower. And again, guys, I'm not blaming Frenkie de Jong here. I'm just stating the facts. And to be honest with you, nowadays, it's necessary for Frenkie to dribble with the ball, because back then, Busquets, Xavi, and Iniesta had the likes of Piqué and Puyol who was doing the passes, right? They were the guys who were really bringing out the ball, and you could trust them because nobody else could do it like those guys did it. And also, Iniesta, who was a dribbler, actually had Sergio Busquets, one of the best defensive midfielders that was ever seen in the world. Now, Frenkie de Jong does not have that at Barcelona at the moment. So that's why I'm saying he's a little bit of a different player than what we need. If we could get that back, Frenkie de Jong would really be at his peak. But the question remains, is Frenkie de Jong a player for Barcelona? And I want you guys to comment down below. Do you think that? Because he's a much different breed of players. Because like I said, he hasn't really found his position within Barcelona, because he's so versatile, right? You cannot really pin him down to be only as a CDM. You cannot only put him down to be a free aid. That will be limiting him, right? That is why I'm posting these questions to you guys, and it's a really weird topic to talk about because Frankie, we know how good he is, but does he fit in with Barcelona and what Barcelona tries to do? If you want to have a player like Frankie De Jong, you need your Puels, you need your guys like Gerard Piqué, who's able to bring out the ball, who is able to play the long balls. You need somebody who's able to sit within that pivot position. That's why I'm so glad that we are actually trying to have Christensen in that position as well, because we need something like that, and that is going to bring out the best within Frenkie De Jong. I think one of the main advantages of having somebody like Frenkie De Jong, of course, would be in the build-up, right? He's doing immense work in getting that ball out safely, especially when he like receives the ball and he has somebody pressing him. He could easily go around that player. So that is, I think, one of the biggest abilities of Frenkie De Jong, the fact that he helps out in the build-up, and also the fact that he's press resistant and he can get us out of trouble. The problem, one of the disadvantages in that, however, is then you need somebody who's at the base, right? That is why Barcelona is underperforming, because for to be able to go around so freely, you need somebody at the base, and I think Christensen is really going to complement that, because that is what I was saying with him being so extra great when he played with Sergio Busquets, because Sergio Busquets allowed him to go and do the dribbling, right? Imagine if Frenkie is alone in this pivot position and he's doing that dribbling, and let's say he loses the ball. We're going to have this whole area with nobody. So that's what I'm saying. In order for us to get Frenkie in his prime, we need somebody that's going to sit in that position, right? Another great thing about Frenkie is his work rate. The fact that he's able to defend so greatly, right? Sometimes he even will go into the back line in order to help out the defense. He can run around. So like I said, his work rate, right? And one of the disadvantages again with all of that being that you never really know where Frenkie is going to fit. For an example, because Frenkie is so eager to help out in the defense, right? Let's say he's supposed to cover that flank on the left side, right, in the left half space. Many times Frenkie runs so much that he totally leaves his position open. Just watch him, guys. Just go back and watch full games of this. And many times when we get counter-attacked, uh, sometimes the players, Frenkie is not in his position, right? And that's all because he wants to help out so badly, and he's basically a really good defensive player. So one of the main disadvantages with Frenkie De Jong would of course be the fact that he's not really position orientated. Frankie's positioning can change all the time, right? For an example, let's say Barcelona is building up. How many times have you seen Frenkie go into that position? How many times do you see Frenkie go into this position? So this is really, you can't do positional play with a player like that. And I'm not, like I said again, don't kill me in the comment section. I'm not bad mouthing Frenkie here. I'm just stating the facts, right? With a player like Frenkie, you can't play positional play. And I've really been criticizing Xavi a lot for not being able to do the positional way, the Barcelona way. But I've come to realize it's because we have somebody like Frenkie De Jong, right? This is also why Ferran Torres' position is so important, because he links up the play between the midfield and the attack, and that is what Frenkie was doing back then when he had Busquets and everybody, right? He was receiving the ball from Busquets, he was doing dribbling, and he left off to the likes of Messi and Griezmann. But as always, guys, do let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think about Frenkie De Jong? Of course, he's a great player, but sometimes great players do have their advantages and disadvantages as well. It rarely ever happens that he ticks all the boxes like great players in that sense. But I'm so burning to see what you guys think about all of this that I said in this video about Frenkie. Please don't go too hard on me in the comment section. But as always, guys, please do subscribe to the channel. It's going to help us a lot to get this family to grow. We upload weekly content like this regarding FC Barcelona and FC Barcelona only. So thank you very much for watching this video. Till the next one, goodbye.